Welcome to another episode of the Intentional Parenting Talk Show. I am Oluwaseyi Fadairo, your host on this platform. I'm so happy that you're joining us today. Thank you for your engagement on this platform. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing with your friends. Thank you with all the encouraging comments. We hope to see more of this. And it's not just about saying more of this. It's about you doing one or two things that you've learned on this platform. Because the aim of this platform is to encourage parents to raise the preserved generation. We cannot change the world if we cannot change a child. So as parents, our assignment is to change our children so that the world at large can be a better place. I pray that the Lord God Almighty will help us to do this assignment in a way that we will finish strong and fulfill His mandate or His purpose. It's 26 or 27 days to Christmas, and I would like us to play with our mind a bit. We are talking today on raising the preserved generation. So I have this deal of getting a carton of chicken at a very, very affordable price. Very cheap. You know how things are getting more expensive and expensive these days. But I got this deal of getting this big Orobo chicken. If you are not in Nigeria, you don't know what Orobo is. Let me leave it like that. I don't need to interpret that. Just assume it's a very good chicken. Yeah. So you got this deal of getting good chicken at a very, very cheap price. And I got one carton, 26 days to Christmas. Or is it 27? Few days to Christmas, actually. I got one carton of this chicken. What will I do to this chicken? Will I just dump it in my kitchen? Or will I just wash it or just pack it anyhow? Or will I fry everything at once and start eating since Christmas can come early, as in how do we say it? Maybe it's just Christmas coming early for me. I know I won't do that. Why? Because I paid, no matter how reasonable the cost is, I paid to get this thing, and it's very, very important to me. And I have a plan. I have a goal. I have a goal. I have a plan. I have this thing in me that is not for now, it's for the future. And what will I do? I won't dump it to the kitchen. Even if I give it to my house help to help me wash or do all that, I have to give instruction. Even when I delegate to my sister, my brother, anyone, I have to give instruction and also watch how they are doing it, so that on Christmas Day I will not be surprised. So that on Christmas Day, whatever I have in mind to do with the chicken, it will come to pass. So that on Christmas Day, I won't say, oh, why did I get this thing earlier than I was supposed to? And for me to get it useful, let me use the word useful, tasteful, nice on Christmas Day, I have to go extra. I have to put some extra things to it, like adding salt. I will first of all wash it. I'll add salt, I'll add all my seasoning, and I'll put it inside the refrigerator. And if I can't put it inside the refrigerator, maybe I don't have it, I will expose it to sunlight, or I expose it to heat, maybe my oven, or I fry it, or I just do something to the chicken so that it can be useful on Christmas Day. Now that is ordinary chicken. So our children, what do we do to them? When we have them, do we just dump them in our kitchen? Not kitchen literally this time around. We just dump them in school and say, okay, school, that's your assignment. Do we just hand them over? Do we delegate them to house helps, family and friends? Like I say, our village people. Do we just dump them and just look away? Do we expose them to sunlight? And when I say sunlight, a place where they can get to know Jesus every day, a place where they can be shaped, they can be sharpened for the future. Do we add salt to it? And when I say salt, to them, not it now. And when I say salt, I'm talking about Jesus. Do we tell them about Jesus? Because this is the only thing that guarantees that they will not go rotten. Do we add salt to them? Do we let them know who Jesus is? Do we take them to Jesus? If we are intentional about things like our chicken, our meat, our fish, and preserving them so that they can serve us in future, then we should be intentional about raising our children in a way that they will be useful for the future. What do we do extra in terms of parenting? What do we do extra in terms of preservation? You know what? The world is full of catalysts. You know what? When they taught us chemistry or integrated science, catalysts are things that speed up the rate of chemical reaction. So the world is filled of catalysts that can make our children to go rotten on time. And when I say on time, even as they are coming out of the womb, they are exposed to those elements that can make them rotten. And as parents, we have to intentionally preserve them so that the future use, the reason why God formed them. You know, Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 says, "Before I formed you, I knew you, and I ordained you to be prophets to the nations." Yes, it might not be that you are raising a pastor. Yes, it might not be that you are raising a prophet or you are raising a priest. But whatsoever that child is called is on an assignment for God. And you need to help God in preserving this ones. Not just in keeping them, in putting them in shape, like we mentioned earlier, in adding salt, in adding sunlight, in being intentional about watching over people we delegated them to, and being intentional about the choice we pick, the kind of school, their churches, and all that, so that they can fulfill their assignment. You know, for Jesus to be preserved, baby Jesus that we are celebrating on this Christmas day, it had to be taken away from Herod for a particular time. God told his father in the dream and said, "Take this boy away, go to Egypt, go and stay there for a while." So for us, for you and I to preserve our children, we need to hear from God. We need to add the salt. Jesus is that salt. We need to expose them to sunlight, the places they can grow, the places we know that yes, this place is guaranteed for their growth, their spiritual, their emotional, their mental growth. We need to be intentional in raising them. And the best thing, as I said in the last video, is telling our children about Jesus. Jesus says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." If we are to train our children in the way they should go, then we need to train them up in the way of Jesus, because the nonsense in quotes we are seeing today is getting more clearer and clearer. And guess what? It's not going to go dull until our children comes out to shine the light of Jesus in them. The nonsense we are seeing in this world, I repeat, is getting brighter and brighter, and it's not going to go dull. It's not going to dim out until our children, until they are out there shining the light of Jesus in them. And how do they get illuminated? It is when they know who Jesus is. That is when they get illuminated. And if we can start early by introducing our Jesus to the solution, which is Jesus, the way, the truth, and the life, from home, then the world will be a better place. Like I always say, together, you and I, we're on this assignment together. That is why I'm always coming here and showing up that let us train our children in the right way they should go. Let us be intentional about raising armies that will stand at the gates of the enemies, so that before they even speak, they will say, "No, you can't stay here." And I pray that the Lord God Almighty will help us. He will give us the strategy we need. He will give us the wisdom we need in raising these children for the Lord. Have a wonderful day. I hope you'll be blessed as I have also been blessed from this video today. I hope to see you again and again, and I would like you to share it with your friends, family and friends, and let's do this business, this our Father's business together. by training up those ones in the right way they should go. And let's raise the next army for God by preserving them now for generations to come. Have a wonderful time. I hope to see us again. Bye for now.